from Fabulous Paper Emporium. I figured I would come and do a really quick video. I saw this cute carrot container. Call it a carrot container. And it will be for, obviously, for some chocolates for Easter. And it comes together so fast. It's so easy with minimal items. And so I knew I wanted to make it. And since it didn't take me long to make mine, I figured, and this is without any kind of decoration whatsoever, but I will be, I think, putting some names on it, that kind of thing. So the idea that this came from, or I saw it on Mixed Up Crafts, Sam did a tutorial on this, I want to say last year, but maybe a little longer. Anyhow, and like I said, it comes together so easy that I definitely will be making these for Easter this year, and I cannot wait. So, to get started, we're going to start with some orange paper cardstock. So this is just 65-pound cardstock. Works really well. Excuse me. And this is 4 by 8. So you'll actually be able to get 2 out of an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. And then for the green, we are using a piece that is 2 3/4 by 2.5. And I already started cutting it because that is the most time-consuming part of this project, is cutting. And I've kept it pretty thin to make it really, and it starts curling all by itself. So that was one of the tips and tricks that Sam had provided, and it totally worked. So to start, I think I'm going to just finish off cutting the little fringe. That's not how I was cutting it. I don't even remember how I had this. Oh, right. I was holding it like this. So along the 2 3/4 side is where you're going to start cutting your fringe, although I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter on either side, but I've got the 2 3/4 going this way. I measured about 1/2 inch from the bottom up, and then I'm just going to it. The 1/2 inch guide is really just that, a guide. So because I'm so bad at being able to be consistent when I'm cutting like this, that I really noticed that I had some that were super short. Oh, some that are super long. It is quite, yeah. It's obviously it's my challenge. So I had to flip it over so that I could actually have something to grab onto while I cut. So just gonna keep going till I get to the end. And then when you get to the end, there's usually 1 or 2 that's kind of a little bit thicker, but just so long as they're not like super, super thick, that's all that really matters there. But then we have our lovely little fringe for the top. Getting to our orange piece though, we are going to use some double-sided tape. So I've got some score tape here today, and we are going to put some score tape on 2 areas. So the first area is going to be on the right-hand side. So you've got your 4 inches at the top. It's going to be on the right-hand side going up and down. I'm just turning it sideways so that I can actually, you know, properly get it as close to the edge as I possibly can. And then tear that off. And then for the other strip, we are simply going to flip it over, and we're putting a strip at the bottom here. So the bottom, right like that. Okay, and before I start peeling any of this off, so this side is going to be on the outside, so we want to keep that on the outside. And then I'm just going to take my ruler, kind of start curving the paper. It'll make it a lot easier in the long run. Now I'm just using my ruler because my bone folder got eaten by the dog. So I don't have a bone folder right now. I do, but I just haven't you know, picked it up yet. So you're going to peel the long side and the inside. So both of your double-sided tape backings, you're going to peel that off. And you're going to, so I've got the sticky side right here again, and I'm going to start at the bottom. This is probably the most challenging sometimes. So I'm going to start at the bottom and get that all kind of lined up as much as I can. And you don't want to press it down too hard, because then your tube is going to become very flat. Be careful, because on this side, on this end, you've got the double-sided tape. And then as you go up, oops, got a little bit stuck there already. And just going to make sure we have that lined up and just run that over with your finger. You could also, if you had a really thin ruler, go in, make sure your seam is pressed down. You can always do that as well. Okay, so now we have our tube, the beginning of our carrot, and you're going to put your seam, basically you want to fold it so that your seam is on one of the sides. So for this one, see, I've got my seam kind of on this side. That's what you're wanting to do. So I'm again going to keep it to the right hand side. So I've got my seam right here, and I'm going to press that together. So that's where the double-sided tape is on the inside, and just go across like that, press it together, and your tube has started. Perfect. And it automatically wants to press on the opposite side. So if you see that you've pressed it this way, your tube automatically wants to go together here. So this means this is going to be our back side, because we've got our seam here. So I'm pressing down probably about, I think about 1.5 inches, maybe. That's as far as I've gone. No, I did it 1 inch before, and I thought it was really good, because you want space for your chocolates or your candies, and you're going to want to put that in now. So if you're making these ahead of time, this is probably where I would stop, because once they're together, the little ribbon holds on your little grassy top or your carrot topper. So you're wanting to, this would be the final step of assembly. So for me, I am going to continue and just go forward. So I'm folding over once, and that's going to be about 1/2 inch. And I'm pressing that really good, making sure you get the fold, and then you're going to fold over one more time. So you've got 2 little folds right there that are roughly about 1/2 inch each. And then we are going to need to put some holes in our top so that we can feed through some ribbon. You could use a little, what are they called? Clothespin. You could certainly use that to close it, and that would make it a little bit easier, but you're going to need to figure out how to attach that as well. So that can always be glued on, I suppose. So, but for this purpose, the purpose of this video, I'm using a, hole punch. Oh, okay. So this is going to actually come in handy. So we're folding this in half, our grass, like that. And then we're going to fold it in half again, actually. Sorry, I'm putting it so that I've got the pencil line on the inside, and that way nobody will see it. So fold it in half, and then we're going to fold it in half again. My other one was a lot wider, and I realized after I finished cutting all of this is I took the remnants of what was left over. So I cut a strip, I think that was 2 3/4, from an 8.5 by 11. And then I cut my 2.5. So that was probably about 3.5 as opposed to 2.5. So that's why it's so much bigger And what I'm going to do with this, because this is going to be sitting, this is going to sit right here, right about the middle. So I'm just going to take my pencil and make 2 little marks so I have an idea of where to punch my holes, because you're going to want that as close to the carrot top as possible, because that's what's going to hold that in. So I'm going to bring this in my, can't remember what this is called. Doodad. I'm going to bring that in and punch 2 holes, hopefully getting them in line as much as possible. Okay. There we go. Sorry, a lot of concentration there. Okay, leave that, set that to the side, get rid of the mess. And then this bit, I'm going to put some glue on it so it stays all together. So just 2 little bits of glue, one there, close that, and then one on the first fold, close that. And that's really all the glue you need. It's really going to be held on and held together with the whatever you decide to use, ribbon, twine. I'm using baker's twine because I got baker's twine in a bunch of different colors and I absolutely love it. Although it was kind of challenging to get through the holes because I wanted to go through twice, give it the illusion that it was a little bit thicker than it is. Okay, so I'm going to go around twice if I can manage it. See, and already it kind of, that's the only downside. And I think my little trick for this is I've seen people, I think, use some Scotch tape or tape at least to keep your threads from becoming separated. So long as it goes around here, we don't need that stuck. Don't need that connected to that anymore. So I'm just going to spin that around. Again, it's actually kind of fraying pretty bad. So I'm going to cut that. And then I pull the yarn, not yarn, the thread, twine, whatever, to one side to give me the maximum amount of space to go through that hole. So I don't have it fraying, but it's already fraying still. So got to cut a little bit of extra off. And hopefully I can get this through. Trying to keep it in view so you guys can see it. And then there we go. Okay, so I kind of did it the opposite way. So we're going to have the bow on our finished side, not the side that we actually have our fold on, but that's where we're going to stick our little carrot topper. Is going to fit right in here, just like so. And then we're going to give this a pull, keep that pretty taut. So there's nothing else except for the pressure from the twine that's being applied to the little topper. But like I said, if you want to glue it, you certainly can. Or tape, or, you know, whatever means you have of securing it, if that's what you would like to do. Now my fingers are all in the way. Okay, so I've got one. I'm so not good at doing these knots. Usually this is when you call somebody with another set of hands to come and help you. Okay. I'm just going to make sure that that's really tight and pull and do a nice little bow, which is what I did on my first one. Okay. I want it a little bit small. Something like that. And we're going to cut off the tails. I cannot wait to make these for my family. So we've got it 2 ways. So one with the bow at the front and one with the bow at the back. And you can easily just kind of spread the paper part. It is surprisingly durable and, you know, you're not going to tear it. It's cardstock. So we've got 2 little carrots right now. All you need is a bunch more and away you go. So that is my tutorial for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you found it useful, and I would love to see it if you make it. If you have made this before, or if you are going to make it, head on over to our Facebook page and share your picture. I would really, really, really appreciate that. Nice to see what other people are working on and how you've decided to decorate it and make it your own. Give other people some ideas. So thanks again for joining me today. If you have not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell so that you are not missing any future videos. And if you found this useful or helpful in any way, shape, or form, give us a big old like, thumbs up, and we will continue making more videos for you. Thanks again for joining me today. Hopefully you have a fabulous day and you stay safe and well. Thank you so much. Bye.